America is a few centuries old, but one of the oldest civilizations is Iran, being several millennia old. Iran has been in the news with reports of its Islamic government killing thousands. Why? In this episode, we will learn about the Safavid dynasty, the switch from Sunni to Shia, Abbas the Great, and trade with Britain's East India Company. Knowing this world history helps us understand how we got here.
In 1502, Persia's Safavid dynasty under Ismail I switched from Sunni Islam to Shia Islam. Shia Islam, or Shiat Ali, means party of Ali and can be traced back to Muhammad's son-in-law Ali. Sunni comes from the word Sunnah, which means the way. Sunni traced back to one of Muhammad's father-in-laws, Abu Bakr, who fought alongside Muhammad in his battles and raids. Therefore, he knew the way. Division between Sunni and Shia became a blood feud after Sunni warriors brutally killed Ali's son Hussein at the Battle of Karbala in 680 AD. Shia Persians fought Sunni Turks in many wars beginning in 1514. Methodist founder John Wesley wrote in The Doctrine of Original Sin, 1757, Mohammedans will butcher each other by the thousands. Why? Turks and Persians differ in the manner of dressing their head. The Ottoman vehemently maintains a Muslim should wear a round turban, whereas the Persian wear it picked. So for this wonderful reason, they beat out each other's brains from generation to generation. Then the King of France, Francis I, made an alliance in 1536 with Sunni Turkish Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent against their common enemy, Spain. In response, Spain's Charles V proposed an alliance with Persia's Shia Shah Ismail I and his son Tahmasp against their common enemy, the Turks. Persia's Shia Safavid dynasty was weakened by court betrayals, harem intrigues, poisoning murders, which invited Turkish aggression. Dethroning his father, Abbas the Great took the throne in 1587 to be one of Persia's most powerful Shia Muslim rulers. Abbas the Great met English merchant brothers Anthony and Robert Shirley, who had traveled south from Moscow in 1598. The Shirleys initiated an Anglo-Persian alliance, which opened doors for the British East India Company to trade with Persia, especially for silk through the port of Jask in the Persian Gulf. Robert Shirley married a Christianized Circassian woman from Abbas's court who took the name Lady Teresa Sampsonia and is considered as the first Persian to visit England. Abbas the Great sent Persia's first diplomatic mission to Europe in 1599, traveling through Moscow, Norway, Germany to Rome, where they met Pope Clement VIII, finally reaching Spain in 1602. A Persian who accompanied Anthony Shirley was Ulugh Beg, who in Spain converted to Catholicism, being called Don Juan of Persia. Abbas the Great wanted Spain's help in fighting the Turks, and in exchange, he was willing to grant Spain trading rights and permission for Christianity in Persia. Negotiations collapsed when Spain's Philip III demanded Persia cut off trade with the British East India Company and force the 400,000 Armenian Christians living in Persia to convert to Catholicism. The Shirleys gave Abbas the Great military advice, even training his captured Ghulam slave soldiers from Armenia, Georgia, Circassia, and the Caucasus. In 1602, Abbas the Great captured the island of Bahrain in the Persian Gulf, which Portugal had controlled since 1521. Abbas defeated Uzbek Turks in 1598, Ottoman Turks 1605 to 1623, and with the help of British East India Company ships, captured the Portuguese island of Hormuz in 1622. Abbas defeated Sunni Muslim Mughals of India, 1622 to 23. When Abbas suspected his sons were conspiring against him, he had them blinded, imprisoned, and killed. When the Orthodox Christian Kingdom of Kakheti in Georgia appealed to the Ottoman Empire for help, Abbas killed or deported hundreds of thousands, nearly 2/3 of their population. He tortured the Georgian queen Pt.2 to death for not renouncing Christianity. Abbas the Great chose as his successor his grandson Safi, who lost the Ottoman-Persian Wars of 1623 to 1639. Safi's excessive drinking and early death in 1642 left 9-year-old Shah Abbas II in charge. At 16, Abbas II captured Kandahar, Afghanistan from India's Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, builder of the Taj Mahal. Abbas II defeated Tsar Alexis of Russia in the Russo-Persian War 1651 to 53. In the early 1600s, the Dutch East India Company began taking control of Indonesia, which was Sunni Muslim. Wherever an imam began preaching sedition and violence, Dutch authorities would arrest and banish him. As a result, over the next 3 centuries of Dutch rule, Indonesia developed a more moderate version of Islam. In 1652, the Dutch East India Company sent Ambassador Joan Cuneus to Persia. He was received by Abbas II, who let him drink from his wine cup. Shah Abbas II died in 1666 and was succeeded by 18-year-old Suleiman, whose preoccupation with his harem made him miss the opportunity of making alliances with European powers after the Turks lost the Battle of Vienna, September 11, 1683, to Polish King Jan Sobieski. The Safavid dynasty was crippled by internal strife and lost regions of Caspia and the Caucasus to Peter the Great of Russia in 1723. The weakened Persian throne was seized by Shah Nader, also known as Kublai Khan, who founded the Afsharid dynasty in 1736. Military historians describe Nader as the Napoleon of Persia for aggressively defeating both Ottomans and Mughals. He killed hundreds of Chaldean Christian monks who refused to convert. A cruel leader, Nader's nickname was the Eye Extractor for his unusual punishment even on his son. Nader sacked India in 1739, killing tens of thousands, which weakened the Mughal Indian Empire. Yale President Ezra Stiles wrote May 8, 1783, Kublai Khan, who dethroned his prince and plundered India of 200 million sterling. The weakened Mughal dynasty lost battles to the British East India Company in 1757. Shah Nader was assassinated in 1747. Persia fragmented into the Qajar dynasty and Zand dynasty, which let the British East India Company open a trading post. The Qajar dynasty consolidated power in 1796 and ruled for 130 years. Rudyard Kipling's book Kama referenced the Great Game, in which Britain and Russia fought over influence in Persia, Central Asia, Afghanistan, Turkestan, and Tibet. Britain defeated Persia's Qajar dynasty in 1857, forcing it to withdraw from Afghanistan. Also in 1857, Queen Victoria's British Crown took direct control of India, which had previously been ruled by the British East India Company. In 1859, oil was discovered in Pennsylvania, then Oklahoma, 1897, then Persia in 1908. Winston Churchill transitioned the British Navy from coal to oil, but since little oil was in England, he helped form the Anglo-Persian Oil Company, better known as BP, or British Petroleum. Germany also industrialized prior to World War I, but it had little oil. So in 1903, Germany agreed with Turkey to trade weapons for oil.
Iran has a long history of powerful kingdoms with, at times, terrible persecutions. Today, millions of Iranians desire the same freedoms that we take for granted in America. Let us pray for the people of Iran and all who live under oppression, including followers of Jesus. We hope you've enjoyed part 2 of this 3-part lesson. For more information, visit AmericanMinute.com and TurningPointEd.com.